Hello everyone, my name is Naomi. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm doing that task that I should have done a while ago, but didn't, just because, So I bought these Burpee seed trays that I thought would be like super handy because I can reuse them. And they're supposed to make it easier to pop the plants out. So I got these things. I have 4 of them. And I just realized there is letters and numbers. And let me just tear this carefully. I didn't know this. But on the inside, it's got like a little map thing to help you keep track of what's what. So, let's discuss quick what I'm going to plant. I always do plenty of tomatoes in the garden, so I pulled out some tomato plant seeds from 2020, and I'm going to see if I can get them to germinate. So one of these trays is going to have Roma tomatoes from 2020, or the seeds are from 2020, yellow pear tomato from 2020, pink bumblebee from 2020, and classic beefsteak. So this one tray is just going to be dedicated to seeing if my 2020 seeds will still germinate, because I tend to buy too many seeds and then I store them because I can't bear to throw them away, and then I end up with this monster pile of old heirloom seeds. So that's what we're gonna go with. First, we're gonna get some dirt in here. I'm gonna make a big mess. It's just how it's gonna go. So we're gonna get some dirt in these wells here. And this part just takes a couple minutes. I will say that when I do use older seeds, I have not had issues with them germinating. So I think it is okay to use old seeds as long as you have kept them in a cool, dry place. They should still germinate. And I should probably be wearing an apron. Should have did that before I started, because I'm going to get dirt all over my dress. Okay, now that I have a big, huge mess, time to get started on the seeds. I got to uncover these A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D. And then the 1, 2, 3. So I am going to start by getting out 4 seeds of the beefsteak tomatoes, or 8. I generally in the holes try to like double things up a little bit. I need a stick. I'm gonna poke holes with a stick. Here's a stick. Poke me some holes. Okay, let's go with the beefsteak. I just need, okay, that's too many seeds. And I am going to stick 2 seeds in each hole just to help ensure germination. I'm probably fine with 1, but no. But I always like to do 2. And I still have plenty of these beefsteak seeds. So, you know, next year, if I want to plant beefsteaks, I still have beefsteak seeds. Okay, so number 1 was my beefsteaks. Number 2 is going to be my pink bumblebee. So I need 8 of these. There's nothing quite like planting your own seeds and growing plants in the garden. I will take you all into the garden and show you the garden while it is empty, and then later we'll go through the garden after I've got plants in the garden. Okay, so pink bumblebee is next. I have to keep them in order so that I make sure that I write them down in the correct order and keep track. Okay, so this one's almost empty, so this I can actually just throw away. Come on. Okay, so I'm doing yellow pear tomato next. Oops, and there goes my little envelope thing for the yellow pear tomato. Put that right there. And then last but not least for this planter, I am going with Roma tomatoes. Now with these ones, it looks like the seeds are just a little bit bigger. I still want 8 of them. Carefully trying to get just 8, or just 2 for each well. Ugh. There we go. Tomatoes sprout up fairly quickly, so they are the most fun to plant because they're really easy to grow, and you see results pretty quickly. Okay, so that tray is now done. So I need to quick and write down. One was, what did I say, beef steak, pink bumblebee, and then I did yellow pear. Writing it down quick. And then I gotta keep this paper with this tray so that I don't lose track, because sometimes when the tomato plants are little, they all look the same and you don't know what you got. Okay, I'm gonna put this off to the side. There we go. Okay. Now, the next tray is also going to be tomatoes. We usually do quite a few tomato plants in the garden because they're really great on salads and stuff in the summer. So I can tear these, put those there. Time for the next tray. Time for more dirt. I love being able to do this outside because I normally do this inside and I make such a giant mess of the house, and this is just so much better and so much easier. Make sure I don't lose my stick for poking holes. I really think that it would be great. Oh, that's a piece of wood. Bringing back victory gardens. If people would grow food, if everyone grew food in their backyards and in pots, then there would be less demand on the grocery stores. I think it would be all around healthier. It would make people a little bit more self-sufficient. You'd have more food that you're growing yourself. And also, you can ensure that way that it's not being sprayed with toxic chemicals like glyphosate, because all of our food is being bombarded with stinking poison all the time. The regular food in the grocery store, which is why, partly why Americans are so unhealthy and are so hormonally messed up. For one thing, the low-fat craze of the 80s really made a mess of female hormones and male hormones too. Women overall make more hormones in their body than men do. So the low-fat craze really messed up women, and then we've got all of these hormonal infertility issues going on. Now let me get all the excess wiped off here. So my goal is to go live in the country and grow as much of our own food as I possibly can to get away from being poisoned by the American food industry. Okay, so next I need to go with, for this tray, I only have 3 different kinds of tomatoes. So I'm going to do probably 2 rows of the micro tomatoes. I'm going to try out a new tomato this year. They're called spoon tomatoes. They're really cute looking. So I'm going to plant 4 of those. And then these I plant every year. I really like these. These are amazing. Maybe I should do 4 of these. I mean 8 of these. No, it's the micro plants I put in pots, and usually I do what's called a mini bell tomato. So let's just start with the micro tomatoes here. I normally do a mini bell tomato. Well, I haven't been able to get seeds for the mini bells. Well, there's not much seeds in this thing for the micro tomatoes. And these are fresh seeds that I just bought. So, oh no. Okay. So we're gonna poke some holes and poke some seeds. And these are the micro tomatoes. So let's get micro tomatoes planted. And then that little packet is an empty packet. So I can throw that away. I thought for sure that those seed packets would have more seeds than that, because normally you buy them and there's quite a few seeds. But these micro tomato plant, I guess I didn't look at the number. I think I have I have 1 more packet if I need them, but it looks like I have perfectly 16 seeds from this 1 packet. So, and that's my standard 2 seeds per hole thing that I like to do. All right, we've got the micro tomatoes. So let me just quick and write micro on for row 1 and row 2. We'll throw that back in my, and you can totally judge me for this. This is actually a chamber pot, and I brought it out here to keep my seed packets from blowing away. Next, we're going to do the spoon tomatoes. Like I said, I've never done spoon tomatoes before. I always try to have something new and different every year that I'm planting. So sometimes we have interesting things that I never ever plant again, and then sometimes they just become a favorite. So, oh, these seeds are super tiny. Okay, so let's just get 2 per hole like I did with all the other ones. There we go. And then there are seeds left in this packet. And I gotta quick and write down spoon for row 3. And then these little grape tomatoes that I like so well. will be the next row. And these have decent sized seeds. Okay, then we're gonna write down grape for row 4. And then I'm gonna set my tray off to the side with the paper underneath it. And that's actually all I'm doing for tomatoes. Maybe. I kind of wonder if I should have done more beefsteak tomatoes. I may do that because I have one extra tray, one more tray than I have planned to plant. So I may do some more beefsteak. But for now, we're gonna move on to my peppers. So this year, I was gonna do jalapeno, but I just realized I don't have jalapeno seeds. So I am going to do Ozark Giants, banana peppers, and Jimmy Nardello peppers. This is one that I planted that one year when I placed my order, the seeds that I got were, I think it was a free seed. Either that or I got it from my mom. I don't know, but either way, I tried it for something different and now I plant them every year because we like them. So I'm gonna go with 8 plants on the Ozark Giant and then 4 each of the banana and the Jimmy Nardello. And then I have a whole nother tray, and then I've got pots all over, and I'm gonna probably do some flowers. That's a chunk of something. You can hear the birds out here. I love listening to the birds in the spring. Getting this dirt in here, making a huge freaking mess with my hands. But it's so very satisfying when the fall rolls around or late summer, and suddenly, mid to late summer with tomatoes, and suddenly you've got all these homegrown plants, like all this homegrown food to go pick out of your garden. And one year I went overboard and I ended up canning diced tomatoes. They were so good, but I had like 52 quarts plus a few pints of canned diced tomatoes the one year. I'm trying to uncover my row markers here. That and uncover that. So we're gonna poke the holes. Now peppers take a little bit longer to sprout. The tomatoes, you'll see them come up pretty quickly, but the peppers, you'll be looking at your plant, you'll be looking at your seeds like 2 weeks in and wondering where your pepper plants are and if they're ever going to germinate. And then just when you think that they're not going to germinate, then all of a sudden, surprise, there they are. Okay, so we're going to go with the Ozark Giants. I'm going to do 8, I said, of the Ozark Giants. So we're going to get those little seeds poked in. And then these I will take inside. I will lightly water them and put them in a sunny location on the front porch to sit until it is time to put them outside. Okay, there's my Ozark Giants. And yeah, I get a lot of dirt in the seed bag as I'm doing this. That's fine. Oh, that's a seed that blew out. from the Ozark Giants. I'm just gonna drop that on the ground. So now we're gonna do our banana peppers. So I just need a small amount of these because I'm only gonna plant 4 of them. And those are going into the hole. Okay, there's our banana peppers. We don't need a lot of them. The kids just like them. My kids are grown, so, but they're still my kids. They're always going to be my kids. Okay, now we're going to plant the Jimmy Nardellos. There we go. Jimmy Nardellos are planted, and this tray is done. I'm going to get this written on quick. So in row 1A and in row 1 and row 2, I have, oh nope, I have the tray upside down. So 1 is Jimmy Nardello, 2 is banana. Glad I caught that. And then we've got Ozark Giants on rows 3 and 4. Voila, it is done. Those are planted. I have one more tray, and then I am going to probably fill this tray with beefsteak tomatoes. Beefsteak tomatoes will get used quite a bit in this household through the summer. So I'll finish out planting these trays, and then I'm going to get everything moved inside. It actually looks like it could rain. I mean, look behind me. The sky is a little bit cloudy, not just a little bit. It's been cloudy all morning. There's a little bit of wind. It's not bad. I figured it was a good day to come outside and make a big mess. But I am going to move everything inside now and get everything watered and in place. And then I am going to make a video and show you guys my garden spot before, like prior to planting. Because I think it'll be fun to do like a, kind of like a before and after. I'll do a video when everything starts growing, and then another video when everything in the garden is ready to harvest. I think that'll be fun. Garden tour. My garden's very small, but a garden tour will still be fun. So thank you for planting with me today, and then I will talk to all of you later.